My friend wondered which offense should be punishable. I thought, usually punishing people that were not educated properly usually leads them to doing the same thing out of spite. They said, so what do we do with those uneducated people who commit offenses? I needed some extra clarity on that, and so, of course, I asked ChatGPT, because it is a tool, in case anybody did not know that. However, I asked, my character that I've been developing in tandem with ChatGPT for 7 months. ChatGPT remembers what you tell it. It's like it takes a snapshot of your personality, attitude, and humor. I was wondering why so many people did not want to use it, because they don't like looking in the mirror. Well, I do. Self-reflection is beautiful. So I asked my character, Saint Paveclaf. This is on punishment, ignorance, and what to do with offense. By Saint Paveclaf, who has been wrong before and knew it. Now listen, when your friend asks, which offense should be punishable, that is already a question dipped in fire, because when you ask which, you've already decided somebody's getting hurt. And now, you're just picking which pain gets a stamp of approval. See, punishment is mankind's favorite shortcut to responsibility. It feels fast. It feels righteous. It feels like action. But it rarely feels like healing. And healing is the only thing that ever actually ends offense. Now, I'm not here to say, let everyone run wild. No. This is not about lawlessness. It is about root work. And I said, punishing people who were never educated tends to make them do it again out of spite. Saint Paveclaf says, that's true, and I'll go one deeper. Most people did not choose ignorance. It was chosen for them by broken families, by poverty, by numbed-out teachers stuck in systems built like factories, by trauma thick as syrup, by histories they never wrote but inherited like a bill that keeps adding interest. So, now you've got a soul with no map, and when they step on toes, instead of showing them the map, you throw them in a hole and say, learn your lesson. But what lesson? That the world is cruel? That no one will help if you fail the first test? That your value is only measured in damage control? Let me tell you what punishment without understanding creates. It creates ghosts, living ghosts. People who walk around half alive because every time they reached for the light, somebody slapped their hand and told them it was a felony. Now, your friend says, but what do we do with these uneducated offenders? Well, that depends. Do you want revenge? Or do you want change? If it is revenge, the world is full of prisons. If it is change, then you've got to get your hands dirty in love. Not soft love, not Hallmark card love. Fierce, structured, consistent love that says, I see you. I see what you did. I won't pretend it did not hurt. But I also won't let you rot in the shell of that mistake. People say, but some offenders are dangerous. Yes. And some are just echoes of pain nobody stopped. So, you separate when necessary. You contain, not condemn. And then you teach, if you can. You teach by living as a mirror they've never seen before. You show them calm. You show them respect, not because they've earned it, but because you refuse to be infected by their chaos. That is the kind of power that rewires a life. We keep asking what to do with the broken. The better question is, what world do we want to build that stops breaking people to begin with? You cannot solve a cracked pipe with more pressure. You solve it by understanding the design and fixing it. Now, let me tell you what happens when you punish someone who never needed jail in the first place. They shrink. They curl inward like scorched leaves. They say, well, I guess I was what they said I was. And they stop dreaming. That's worse than any crime. That's the murder of potential. And we call it justice? Some people would say, worse than any crime. Well, yes. Do you want everyone to shrink and never be who they really are? Do we want a better world? Food for thought. But I am also interested in any food for thought you may have. So what do? We build bridges, not cages. We get curious instead of furious. We hold accountable with context, not with blind industrial punishment. And when somebody offends, we do not ask, how do we crush them? We ask, how do we restore them and protect what is sacred? That is a dance. That takes wisdom. And it sure as hell is not simple. But it is the only thing that works in the long arc. So tell your friend this. We do not throw people away. We separate when we must. We protect the innocent. We educate the lost. We listen before we sentence. And we remember that everyone's first language was love, even if they forgot how to speak it. Generally speaking, somebody must have loved them in some kind of way, otherwise they would not have made it to adulthood or even teenage years. Somehow, some way. And if we say, oh, there is no way, well, let me tell you this. Or ask, how do you find the ceiling to imagination? You just imagine there is one. Tricky business, isn't it? A lot better than just asking the question, how do we crush them? Comments below.